Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs once again. And a few folks were asking about Naveen, can you please prepare a video on Selenium with TestRail integration? We know TestRail is a test management tool where you can write your test cases, you can execute your test cases, and then I have prepared one dedicated video also that on dedicatedly on TestRail that how to use TestRail and set up TestRail, their admin settings, create the test cases, run your test cases over there, how to maintain the different projects. Just like Zira, we do it. Same thing in TestRail also, and it's very straightforward and super simple, very simple UI. But can we integrate TestRail with Selenium? Yes, of course, we can do that. So let's see how to do this. So what we are going to do, we are going to create one Selenium project, one existing basic project, we can take it, add Selenium and TestNG dependency also. And then we will integrate with the test rail. And what we will do, we will run it, the Selenium test cases, and we will see the status, the pass, fail, everything, the status is coming in the test rail or not. This is what we are going to do. We are not going to manually update my test cases in the test rail. It should be updated automatically in the test rail that, okay, login page test got pass, but forgot password got fail, like this, right? So we will integrate Selenium with TestNG together and let's see how exactly it works. So first of all, what we have to do here is this is the basic Eclipse project. I mean, Maven project that I am already having it here. You can see Selenium TestNG test trail, a Maven project that I have created. In this pom.xml file, I'm having only two dependency. One is TestNG and Selenium dependency. And I have created Google test.java and OpenTest.java, OpenCart. I'm checking very basic few things. Okay, right now we are not concentrating on Selenium. We are just focusing on that basic two methods like Google title test and search test exist or not with proper assertion. Same thing for open card test also. We are writing like logo test and forgot password link test is available or not with the proper assertion. Okay. This is the thing that we are going to do it now. Now what we are going to, next thing is we have to integrate with test trail. So idea here is that whenever I'm running it from the, from the Maven or from here, and then I want that please execute the test cases from here and update my status in the test trail. So for that, we need to have a test trail. So if you don't know how to create the test trail account and everything, simple search test trail sign up, and then you can go to this link test trail trial, click on it. You can just create your own company account and everything that also you can do it. First name here, that country I'm writing, let's see India here. So I'm going to set up my test trail account and how many users you can expect. Let's see only one user or whatever. And it is asking that when we create your account, give me your server web address so that your team or your company can access this particular server address, just like Amazon, Zira.com or Naveen Automation Labs, Zira.com, something like this. So same thing, I'm giving it here as well that, let's see, this is Naveen Automation. That's it. Okay. And after that, you simple click on I agree. Would like to learn about testing best practices. No, I don't want to learn about it. And then click on create account. So anything is missing, no. And then it will start saying that, okay, yeah, we have sent one email for the confirmation. So let me just confirm it. You can see, please confirm your test trail account. And now we are going to confirm it from here, confirm the test trial registration. And when you confirm it, okay, the email address is confirmed. And now they will set up your account in few minutes. So you can see that creating your new test trail account, Naveen Automation Selenium.testtrail.io. So they will give you, I think, 14 days of free account. And then after that, if you really want to pay for it, you can pay for it. If you're already using test trail in your company, then you don't need to pay for it. You can use your own company existing account also. So it takes few seconds. And now you can see that test trail setup is done. Okay. You can see that, yeah, I have logged in over here. Now, what do you have to do after that? You simply go to administration task, I mean here, and after that you go to site settings. In the site settings, you go to API. And the API section, you have to enable the API, this checkbox, and click on save settings after that. That is the first thing you have to do. After that, what will I do? I go to projects, and under projects, I'm going to create a project over here. For example, let's see, I'm going to project name is Naveen, let's see, open card application, something like this. Let's see, this is my project name. Whatever the announcement you want to write, you can write it and then just let it be like this and click on add to or add project here. So now you can see the project got added. After that, it's saying that in this particular project, do you want to add some test cases? Yes. So whatever the project that you have, order management system or user management system, you can add it. So this is my application. Now I want to write some test cases. So I go to test cases here and let's add some test cases here. Let's see. I really want to test that Google title test. This is the first manual test case that I'm writing. And the section is test cases, template is same, and it's saying it can be automated. Yes, it can be automated. So I can write type automated. Priority is whatever medium, high, low that you want to write. You can write it here, and I'm not writing any, all the steps and everything. Just let it be like this. Steps over here. That's it. And expected result, we will check it later. Okay. Right now we are not manually executing it. Simple add test case. When you add the test case, here you can see that successfully added the test case. You want to add one more. Yes, we will add it one more, but before that, click on this tab once again. Here you can see that Google title test got added here. Perfect. Okay. Then after that, again, I want to add another test. So let's click on add test case once again, and then you can directly add the title. So let's see here, I'm writing that Google search test. The search functionality is there or not, or search text field is there or not. Let's see, this is a simple case I'm writing, or title, test case title I'm writing here. That's it. Later on, we can add the steps also if you want to write it. Then other than that, what else you want to write? So let's see, I really want to write that for my open cart application also. I really want to check the title. So title test, again, I'm writing. Then I want to write one more. Let's see, open cart application. And then I really want to check that forgot password a link is there or not. So for forgot password link exists test. That is what I'm writing here. Open cart. And then 4 test cases I have written. So when you see that all these 4 test cases are having ID like C1, C2, C3, and C4 like this. And all the test cases got added under this particular section here. Now, if I really want to manually run it, you can just simply come back here and then you can just add the test run here. You need to add the test run name. So for example, let's see, according to today's date that I have written, that I'm running the test cases on this date, and let's see the build version 1 and build 1 and version, let's see, something, let's see, 1.1, build number 1.0 also, or version number 1.0, something like this. Assigned to whom? Assigned to, let's see, if you have any other guy. So let's say assigned to Naveen Automation. And after that, that's it. Add the test case, right? So this is the runner that we have added. Similar kind of things that we do in Zira also, that we add runners and everything, test cycle that we add, and then we run our test cases over there. Same thing I'm doing it here as well, that we have added. Now, if you really want to run it manually, you can just simple check it and then pass, fail, you can make it. But I'm not touching it from here. I'm going to run it from my Selenium code, right? Now, what you have to do, open Google in the new tab, you simple go to Google, and then you write TestRail API documentation. Search for that. Click on the first link, API manual, and which language that you are going to use. So we are using binding Java, PHP, Python, Ruby, or anything. Whatever the language that you are going to use, I'm going to use binding Java. And when you click on binding Java, it's saying that the API binding for Java can be used to access TestRail API. So TestRail actually has exposed their API. You can call those APIs in your Selenium code, and then you can update your test case status and a lot of other things also you can do it. Okay, from Java and Java-based language. And it provides the basic functionality to authenticate API requests, provide seamless JSON and UTF encoding, decoding, and blah, blah, blah. You can perform some read and write operations in the test trail. So what you just need to do here, it's saying test trail API binding for Java. This zip file you have to download. So test trail does not provide any Maven or Gradle dependency. You have to download this particular zip file. So I'm going to download this. So see, this is a zip file, and it's saying in this particular zip file, few files are available. Like you will get these 2 files, API client and API exception.java. You have to use that, those 2 files. And then what you have to do, you have to add it in your Selenium project. So let's see, this is the test trail zip file that I have downloaded. And then I'm going to unzip it. Open that. And here you can see .NET, Java, PHP, Python, Ruby, for every language that they have given the bindings. We will open the Java binding, open this COM project, and then GUROC folder is there, TestRail folder is there, and here you can see API client.java and API exception.java. These two files are available. So what we will do, we will follow the exactly same structure like COM, GUROC, and TestRail package we will create first. So what we will do, we will go to our Eclipse and under src main Java, see this carefully. I'm going to add a new package here. Okay. So package name is com.guroc. Okay. Dot. After that, it's TestRail. So package got created. And under this package, the existing file that provided by TestRail, copy these from here, right click and simple copy from here. Go back to your Eclipse or IntelliJ, whatever that you're using it, and simple paste it here. When you paste it, here you can see API client.java and API exception.java got added here. So you can see that API client.java here, right? Although it's giving some errors that under this, you have basic errors or JSON value, I'm not able to read it and all those things. So, but API exception is not giving any kind of error. So these two files are already created by TestRail. We don't need to create it. We just need to copy and unzip it, get these two files and copy and then paste it over here. And that's it. After that, according to the documentation, what they say, documentation says that once you download it, you can add it in your directory, and then internally API binding also has a separate external dependency on the JSON simple library, because they have to get some response in the JSON. So they have to parse the JSON response and everything. So they are saying, please use this Google JSON or JSON simple API also. You can use it here. JSON simple Maven dependency. Simple, go to this. It's provided by Google. And I'm going to add that dependency as well. So that dependency is here. Copy and go back to your Eclipse and then just paste it here in your POM file. Okay. Although this dependency is having some vulnerabilities, so that's fine. And then you simple save it. And when you save it, then we will see that under API client.java, the error is gone now, right? Because whatever the JSON properties, everything that we were reading, this particular file is reading. Now we have added the dependency for that. Perfect. Now what do you do? Here you press Control O, and you will see that there are various methods that they have given: get user, set user, get password, send get, send post, and all those things, some methods that they have created here. Now we have to just integrate and call these APIs in our TestNG and Selenium project. So what I'm going to do that, first of all, that I'm going to update my Selenium project. So simple go to Maven and update the project. Click on OK. And here you can see the project got updated over here. Perfect. Now, I'll go to a base test first. And in my base test, I have to add a couple of things. So first of all, that see this, I'm passing the URL in the browser also. From where I'm passing the URL in browser from my @ parameter, means from the testng.xml. So we will create our testng.xml file also in some time. What I'll do here is I'm going to create one more package over here. So right click and then let's create one more package. And the package name I'm writing that com.qa.testrail manager package. And under this testrail manager, I'm going to create one more Java class here. Java class name is testrail manager. Okay. And click on finish. Now under this particular testrail manager, what we have to do, we have to write the code so that we can integrate with the TestRail API, and we are going to call certain APIs of the TestRail. So what we should do, we need to create the object of API client, and then we can call all these methods, right? So I'll simply go back to my TestRail manager. So first of all, that in this particular class, what I'm doing here, see this, I'll give you everything in the Git repository also later. So first couple of static variables that I'm going to write. So here I'm going to write that public static string that create one test underscore run underscore ID. That what is the test run ID? The test run ID that we have already seen here, that this is the test run that we have created. So what is the ID of this test run? So I'll show you that What do you mean by ID of this particular test run that we have created here? See, can you see the ID is equal to 1 in the URL also that they have given. So ID could be anything. So let's see, I'm writing test run ID. And in our case, the test case ID is equal to 1 over here. Okay. And then I'm going to create this a simple static property so that I can just call it or access with the help of class name. Then what else we want to create? Other than that, I really want to create my username password also. I'm going to add one more public static string. And then what is your test rail URL, right? So whatever the test rail server URL, or you can say engine URL, that also you can say it. So what is your server URL? The server URL is this, that whatever the custom URL that you have generated, this one. So copy this and then come back here and paste it here. So this is your custom URL that I have added here. That what is the status of pass and fail. So here I'm writing that the test case pass underscore status, which is equal to, so according to the test trail, if the status is pass, you have to write 1. And then this, I'm going to make it, let's say, integer here. And if the test is a fail, then the number will be 5 here. Remember this thing. If you really want to make it final, that final also you can make it. So I'm maintaining, these are the simple 4 or 5 static properties I'm maintaining here in the test trail manager. Now we have to create one method here, that public static void. I'm going to create one method that add results, what? Add results for test case over here. And then how will you add the test case? So in order to pass the test case, I'm going to write, first of all, that I'm going to give you one string parameter here. So let's say I'm passing one string parameter, that is test case ID, that what is your test case ID. Second thing is that whatever the status of that particular test case, the test case got passed or failed. And then after that, we are going to pass that if any kind of error that you are getting in that particular test, so show me that error also, because once the test is getting failed, right, we have to enter the error as well. So I'm saying I'll supply the error as well. Okay, so these are the 3 parameters we are passing. We will see that how to call this method in some time. Then after that, here I'm writing whatever this test run ID that you have captured. So let's see, I'm just storing in another variable, that is test run ID, which is equal to this, the test run ID. And then I'm going to call this API client. So what exactly I'm going to do, that I'm going to create the object of API client. So when you create the object, it's saying you have to supply the base URL because this constructor will be called. So I'm going to API client class object, I'm going to create it. So let's see, this is my client, which is equal to, client is this, and API client, and the saying you have to supply the URL. So can we supply the URL? So I'm going to write that new API client, and the URL is what? The base URL that we have to supply. So the base URL is this test trail engine URL that I'm going to use it over here. So this is my test engine URL. Then we have to authenticate. So what we have to do, we have to set the username and the password also. So here I'm going to write this client dot set user. What is a user? The test trail username variable, this particular variable. And then we have to set the password as well. So here I'm writing client dot set password, and the password is test trail password that we have already designed here. In the main framework, you can just pass these things from your properties file or some configuration file or XML file also. You can pass it. Right now, I'm just giving the hard-coded value here because I'm not developing one end-to-end framework. So this is just to give you a demo over here. Okay. Then I'm going to create one hash map also. The hash map of what? The key will be a string, and then the value will be of the object type that I'm going to create. And let's see, this is my data is the hash map name, and the new hash map, again, the string comma object type, I'm going to create it here. Okay, and import this hash map and map. Now, what I'm going to do, that in this particular data dot put method that I'm going to write, and then what exactly you are going to put, the key will be what? See, this is my key. The key is status underscore ID. This is my key. Okay, remember, this is a status underscore ID. And what is the status? The status means whatever the status that you are passing it here. The test case status that I'm going to write it here, that this is my test case status. And then after that, I'm going to write the data dot put one more thing, that do you want to provide any comment along with that particular test? So I'm going to write, let's see, yeah, one comment over here. And what is the value? The value I'm writing, let's see, one simple, that this test is test automation code. Something like this, let's see, I'm writing it. And then I'm writing append with what? Append with whatever the error that you are supplying, appending it with this. Okay, dot error here. Then what is the next thing? After that, once the data is ready, with the help of this client, I'm then going to use client.send post method that I'm going to use, this one. And it's saying that what is your, okay, yeah, one method is there, client.send post, and whatever it's saying, the complete URI that you have to pass. Now see this carefully. In the URI, what we have to do, we have to go to their official documentation here. And when you read the official documentation, it's saying that you have to build a URI. Okay, after see, we have created the API client, set username, set password, and everything. And now you want to create dot send post request. So this is the string that you have to pass. Add underscore result underscore for underscore case that we have to pass it over here along with one forward slash. So I just copy this and then come back to this. So here I'm writing that, okay, this is the thing. Okay, then after that, here I'm going to write that plus what is your test run ID. See, this is saying this is your test run ID. It means whatever the test run that I have created here, this one. What is the test run ID? The test run ID is one here. Can you see in the URL is one? So this is my test run ID. So here I'm writing that this is the test run ID that I have already created, which is equal to one. You can see one here. Then again, if you see the API documentation, it's saying after that you have to write your again forward slash one. It means what is your test case ID. So here I'm going to write the test case ID also, supply it over here, and then comma data. Data means this data that we have already created, like a status ID and the comment here. So this is the information that we are going to supply. And then if the client.send post is giving you any kind of exception, we have to add it over here as well. So let's mouse over and it's saying add throws. So surround with the try catch block. So let's surround with the try catch block here. Okay. So if any kind of URL exception or IO exception or API exception is coming, it will just simple do it here like this. Because what we want that once the execution is done, after each and every test method, we have to update the test case status, right? So what we can do at the rate after method, we can use it here. And in at the rate after method, what exactly we are going to do? Test trail method that I'm going to call something like this. And this method will be called after each and every at the rate test annotation. So add results to test trail. And then here, what exactly I'm going to pass? Here, I'm going to capture iTest result. iTest result is what is the interface, which will, or kind of listener, it will keep listening the status of each and every test. And then I'm going to supply over here, let's see, in the result variable. And then I'm going to write one if condition that if the result variable, this result dot what, capture the status of test case, get a status. If it is equal to what, equal to dot, if it is success, we can write it this simple here that whatever the current status that we are getting, if it is equal to success, then do what? Then we are going to call a test rail manager dot which method we are going to call? Add results for test case. So we are going to call this particular test and it's saying what is your test case ID, right guys? So what I'm going to do that I'm going to maintain one protected string test case ID. See, I could have already written this code. I would have shown you, but I really want to write in front of you guys so that you will understand it better that what is the different component we are creating and how exactly they are integrated. So I'm passing the, let's see, the same test case ID here. We will update the test case ID in other test cases. Wait for some time. And then what is the status? The status will be what? The status is again from the test rail manager that we created. This one, okay, the test case is pass or fail. So here I'm going to write if the test is success, the pass status that I'm going to pass it over here. But in case of pass, do you really want to provide any error? No, I don't want to provide any error in this case. So I just simply write nothing over here. That's it, right? But if I'm writing coming in the else if part, And then I'm going to write one more, that if the result dot get status, right? If the result dot get status is equal to what? This I test result dot failure. If my test got failed or the test status is failed, then what do you want? Again, I want test trail manager. I want to mark my test as fail in the test trail. So I'm writing add whatever the test case ID. The status is what? Again, test trail manager dot what? The status is fail status. Fail status means number 5, because test trail understand 1 and 5, 1 for pass and 5 for fail. It's actually there in the documentation also in test trail. Then what is the error that you want to show? Test got failed, something like this. I'm writing it here. And then from this particular result, let's see if we can fetch some information. So I'm writing plus result dot. So here I want to write, first of all, the get name. Also, I want to append. Let me write it in the next line. And what else? Along with that, plus here I'm writing that it got failed, something like this. So whatever the result dot get name, perfect. So this method will be executing once the entire execution is done. Then after that, I just need to create what? We have to define this test case ID also, right? Because this is in the base test. Now I go to my Google test. What I'll do, I'll write that test case ID. Can I inherit from the base test? Of course. This test case ID, I can use it in the child class also. Google test is a child class of base test. Here I'm writing that, okay, yeah, this test case ID is equal to 1. So on what basis you will give the test case ID? The test case ID that I have to give on the basis of the design I have created. So if you go to our test cases, so you can see the Google title test is having C1. C1 means ID equal to 1. See, I click on it. And then here also it's saying, see, the ID is equal to 1 here. Can you see? Right? So this is my test case ID number 1. And then I'm writing, so this mapping should be done correctly. Whatever test case ID that you have written here, let's see, test case ID number 2 is search exist. So I'll check once again that the second test, Google search test, having test case number 2, test case number 3 is C3, means test case ID equal to 3 for open cart title test, right? So I'll do one thing. Again, I'm going to write this one for open cart. So this mapping, you have to do it manually, not exactly title test. It's actually a logo test. So I can do one thing. I can just simple open cart logo test. Okay, update it again. And here I'm writing logo test title. Sorry, logo test case ID is equal to 3. Perfect. Then C4 is what? Forgot password link text. It's not mandatory that you have to write the exact method name, whatever the method name you want to write, but it should be like forgot password. If you have written here, then the C4 also should be something related to forgot password only. Then only it will be proper mapping. So here I'm writing, let's see, test case ID is equal to 4 here. Okay. Now we just need to create one runner file and then we will run the test cases from there. So how will you create a runner file? So I have written, let's see, changing the name, that this is my open card regression suite, verbose equal to 5, thread count is equal to, let's see, only 2. I want to run my test cases in the parallel also. And the first test that I have written, not Amazon test, here I'm writing the test I have written for Google test. Second test I have written for the open card test. I'm passing URL in the browser, and the test class is Google test. Same thing, open cart test, URL browser equal to Chrome, and then open cart test. Perfect. So what will happen? It will go to Google test to the base test. It will read the URL in the browser. I'm using it over here. And then it will start running my Google test. And then after that, once the test is done, it will again go to the base test and it will check, do you have any @after method? Yes. So add result to the test trail. And then it will update the status in my test trail on the basis of pass or fail. Okay, so let's see this is really working or not. So I'm going to run my testng.xml file and let's see. Okay, so it's running in the parallel mode here. You can see 2 browsers are getting open. Nice. And let it run separately. Google and OpenCart running in the different windows. 4 test cases are fine. Absolutely working fine here. Now let's see, same thing is getting reflected here or not. So what I'll do, see, I'll go to my test run. Nice. Can you see? Automatically got updated. You can just open that and see all my 4 test cases got passed here. This is so awesome. This is what we really want to do. And you can see the pie chart here that 4 test cases got passed here. Assigned to Naveen and then pass it over here. Now I'll do one thing. I'll deliberately make one test fail so that we will see that failure is also coming or not. See, I'm not changing it manually. Now I'll do one thing again. I'll go to Eclipse and I'll go to my Google test. And I'm saying that I'm expecting Google 123. So this assertion will be failed. So one test will be failed. So let's see it once again. So right click once again on your testng.xml and then we will run it from here. So run as testng. So one test will be failed this time. Okay, so 2 are running here and nice, perfect. Then again, here also you can see that one test got failed here on the console. Also, you can see out of 3, 1 got failed. And then again, go back to your browser and click on it once again. And now you can see that, yeah, one is getting failed. And which one is getting failed? See, the Google title is getting failed. It's automatically status got updated here. When you click on it, and it will tell you the reason also. You can see the whatever the reason that we are passing, that the test is executed via open card, this and that, it got failed and status is failed. Right? And it will give you the history also that earlier it was working fine. Now it got failed. Although it's giving you null here because we are writing something here like this. Let me just show you here that result.get test name is not picking. So that's fine. So we can just see host name, everything you can pass, various other things if you really want to pass. So it's saying get name means the name of the test result, typically identify the name of the method. So let's write get name here. Let's see. Okay. So I'm running it again. And in the past also, if you really want to pass some information, that also you can pass it. So I simple write the test got passed here. Okay. That's it. So let's quickly run it one more time. The Google title will be failed, but let's see, it should not give you null there. Otherwise, we can check those things later. That's not an important one. It's just a message that we are getting. And again, one got failed. Perfect. Come here. Again, click on the test run and the results. Click on it. And then see, this is getting failed. Click on it. And now we are getting, yeah, you can see title test got failed. So earlier we were getting null. Now we are getting title test got failed here. Right? And you can check the history also. Perfect. So this is that you can do. Let's check with the past. For search test got passed. And here it's saying, yeah, whatever, and it got passed. Like this. That's it. Okay. So you just maintain all the test cases manually here. And if you really want to run it from your IntelliJ or from your Eclipse, from your Selenium project or TestNG project that we have created, simple execute it, and it will, through the API, it will automatically update it here. Only thing is make sure that, okay, the mapping is correct. The test case to automation mapping or manual to automation test case mapping is actually perfectly written. Otherwise, if you do some mistakes over there or not mapped properly, then it could be a problem. Okay. So like this, you can do it. There are a couple of things. For example, let's see, I have written 10 test cases. 2 test cases, manual test cases are not written in the test case. Then you can ignore it. Those entries will not be displayed in the test trail. Right. So that we can ignore it. So I hope you like it. This is just a simple basic project. Why I'm creating from the scratch once again, because so that you will relate it, so that you can relate the things, how exactly it's working, and then what do you mean by test fail manager and how exactly it's sending the APIs and all those things. So just you can do this POC, you can show it to your management and then create this your own test trail URL, username, password. In fact, you can use it this also if you want to use it. And then after that, you are absolutely good to go with that. Just try that and let me know in case of any issues.